Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first Launchpad, where you can connect with the world from your couch. Our company, Rocketship Consultants, works with clients that are making a career transition or clients that are starting a business. The best way to get ahead in business and in your career is through networking, hands down. However, with COVID-19, we've all found that our usual ways to connect, the dinners, the happy hours, the cocktail parties, all of it's been canceled. So it's been really hard for people to network. This forum will allow us to bring on business owners and professionals. You will meet them, learn a little bit about what they do. They will also get the opportunity to promote what they're working on. But this only works if those of you watching participate. Please type in your name and introduce yourself to us. Tell us where you are from and what you do for a living. Feel free to ask our guests questions and comments. We will, put up their contact information for our guests so that you can follow up with them individually. So let's begin. I'll go first so everyone can get the handle on this. My name, once again, is Rosanna Catalano. If I didn't say it earlier, I don't think I did. I own Rocketship Consultants. I work as a business consultant and career coach. I also help people launch their podcasts and videos. I'm blessed to work with two amazing individuals who I will let introduce themselves. I also work as a lobbyist and work with an amazing team at Capital Access. So let's go around the room, and I'll start with, looks like Marvi down there. To my bottom left, I think.
Hi, everybody. So I guess I'll introduce myself. My name is Marvi Ann Alimo. I'm down in beautiful Naples, Florida. I'm an estate planning attorney with the law firm of Porter Wright Morrison Arthur, where I'm the co-chair of the firm's estate planning and wealth preservation group. I'm also a co-chair of the firm's probate trust guardianship and litigation group. So I help people out and then I fight their battles later on. And my shameless Gator plug. Got to do that.
Go Gators. Josie, you want to go next?
Oh, I'm next. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you go next.
And Ro, thank you for having me. This is quite a pleasure and an honor. Tamayo, I live in Tallahassee, and I am currently the Chief of Staff of the Department of Juvenile Justice. And the Department of Juvenile Justice is the agency that obviously takes care of kids when they make some bad choices, and we promote public safety through prevention and intervention and education. So it's a little bit of a different role for me because I'm a lawyer, but now I'm the Chief of Staff. So I oversee all the administrative, legislative communications and work with a great secretary, Simone Marsteller. So I hope you all are going to enjoy this. It's going to be interesting. It's wonderful. And thank you for having me and being able to talk a little bit about what I do and every day, which is work with kids and do good things for kids and help their lives turn around. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, thanks for being here. And Steve, tell us about you and what you're working on.
Okay, well, first of all, we've got a total Brady Bunch vibe happening here. Like I want to look up and then look over and probably looking the wrong way. Yeah. My name's Stephen Greco. I'm an attorney by day, and I am also the owner of Greco Fit. I'm a certified personal trainer and fitness nutrition consultant here in Fort Lauderdale. So my role tonight, certainly my passion, is fitness and nutrition, talking about how people can achieve health and wellness at home, working out at home, and now as gyms are opening up again, talking to them about that, online training and then in-person training as well.
And I'll go around, I'll go look to my, this is mirrored. So over here, Joy, did I do it right?
Yep. Hi, I'm Joy Tootle, and I'm an attorney as well. I worked for many years with the Department of Health, with the Attorney General's office, and with the Board of Medicine. And currently I am in Gainesville, Florida, and I work remotely with Rosanna. I help edit her podcast, The Floridaville, and we work on numerous projects like the Launchpad. So happy to be here.
And Nathan? Did I get it right?
Exactly.
You got it. You got it.
You did.
I'm Nathan Moon, and since I just paid my bar dues in Wisconsin and Florida, I am still an attorney. I'm not doing much in the way of that at the moment, though. I'm kind of pre-tired in Mexico lately. I work with Rosanna and Joy at Rocket Ship Consultants. I do some career consulting with people, help out folks with resumes, and especially getting interview ready.
So this is quite the lively bunch. I'm going to see if we have any comments. We're hoping that people will post their comments. I'm going to go ahead and put some of your contact information across the bottom so that people can see. There's porterwright.com if people want to get in touch with Marvy. And we also have Josie's email address. Hopefully I've spelled it all right. And people can get in touch with her if they want to get in touch with these folks. So let me take that away and we can all keep talking. So I want to go to Steve, which I think I'd be looking like this, right, Steve?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. You have some really exciting news with your gym. I know that you do your personal training, but you're actually opening a gym next week. So tell us what that has been like. And you're also practicing law while you're doing it.
Yes. So I thought, not only am I working from home and making my billable hours every month, that I might as well just launch my fitness enterprise in the middle of a global pandemic. So what I've done is, I've been a personal trainer for the last 4 or 5 years, and working at different gyms and training individuals one-on-one. I took a couple of months off from working as an attorney before everything got crazy. I went to Europe for a couple of months and just kind of wandered around and went to a lot of the gyms and just studied fitness and talked to trainers and gym owners about what was popular over there and what I could bring back to the States. And so I've really decided to go really just pursue my passion. And so starting next week, there's a 5,500 square foot warehouse space here in Oakland Park, which is one of the communities in Fort Lauderdale that I'm sharing with a cheerleading gym, Pride Cheerleading, my friend Matthew Kaiser, who I've known since my Tallahassee days as well. So I'm launching group fitness classes, one-on-one training. I do, like I said, fitness nutrition assessments, help people make smart choices at the grocery store, do a little bit of CrossFit training. Yes. So I'm really looking forward to it. It gave me, my trip, and then also the time during this pandemic working from home has helped me really appreciate how I think all of us have come to appreciate so greatly how we spend our days, and helping people and doing right by others. So I wanted to make sure that I could capitalize on that. And so, yeah, why not?
What has been the most stressful thing about starting a gym?
Well, you know me well enough to know that when I say this, you're going to be like, yeah, that'd be Steven. Deciding the music to play during the workouts.
Very key. Very key.
Because I can put a workout, I can put a 45-minute workout together in no time, but figuring out the music for it, that's a whole complete, because it's a whole experience. Each of the workouts has a name and it's themed. And hello, I'm an OCD Virgo attorney. Of course, everything's going to have a theme.
Do you have your first song that you're going to play for your first workout in the gym?
No, not yet. That's the other thing.
I have a
last
suggestion.
minute.
You have a suggestion?
I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor.
Oh, there you go.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. And very timely. Yes.
I Will Survive.
So, right?
My favorite song.
We will all get through this.
Yes. So, picking the music has been, is always the most fun, but just, connecting with the community and making sure that people know that it's okay to come back and take care of themselves physically and emotionally.
You know, Marvy, I know that you've had basically your own business as a partner in a law firm for a really long time in different law firms. You know, what would you say is some good advice for somebody like Steve that is starting his own business? Would you give him some any marketing advice, or I know it's a different enterprise.
Well, it's so different, sort of marketing in this COVID-19 world because, as you said, networking, you've got to approach it a little bit differently. We can't do the face-to-face. And I'm very big with face-to-face because I think a lot about business relationships is getting to know the people that you are in business with or that you want to be in business with. And you've got to be able to feel the energy and know that the energy between you and, the person you're hiring is a good fit, I think, really now in this COVID-19 phase, really kind of understanding all of the technology that's out there, all of the platforms that are out there is really critical. I think a lot of attorneys kind of in our age range, we all know some technology, but I don't think we're quite as adept as the millennials at knowing, how to get ourselves out there on all the platforms like, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and really sort of exploiting those. I think the best way now to reach out to people is through those platforms because everybody's at home. They have nothing to do. Everybody's, checking out the news feed. And, the traditional forms of marketing aren't going to work anymore. And so one of the things that was interesting with our firm is we just launched an Instagram. And I was like, big law firm launching an Instagram. Like, what are we going to take pictures of and post? Like, I didn't understand that because so Rode knows that on the side, I also am a food writer and I have a food blog on Instagram. And so I know people want to see pictures of food. I wasn't sure if they'd want to see pictures of attorneys, but interestingly enough, I follow our firm's Facebook Instagram page. And interestingly enough, I think it's a good platform. A lot of people like it. I think people are moving away from the Facebook because of, all the other things you get bombarded with there. And it's a nice way to give a little snippet of yourself, a snapshot. You can use it to not just show something visually, but we use it sometimes to show like statistics. So, we put up the number 3 for one day. Well, why the heck are they putting up the number 3? And if you read in, it talks about how we have 3 diversity affinity groups at our firm. We have a Diverse Attorneys Network, we have a Women's Leadership Institute, and then we also have an Equity Alliance. And there aren't other firms out there that necessarily have that, but that's a way that visually we've been able to use Instagram in a way that maybe other law firms have not thought about. So that is my tip for the day, Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see the first law firm on TikTok, frankly.
Yeah.
If my daughter had her way, I would probably be the first lawyer on TikTok. She makes me do all these TikTok dances.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Our house.
Oh, I am familiar with that. I am so familiar with that.
We have a few comments. People introducing themselves. They happen to be mostly family members, but let's get them on.
We'll take it.
screen.
We'll take it. What do we got?
This is my sister. Hi, I'm Janet, and I'm a software engineer, and I live in Maryland. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet. Hi,
Hey,
Janet.
Janet.
If you have any
How are
questions, welcome to Launchpad.
And this is my husband, Jeff Armstrong, nurse anesthetist at Digestive Disease Associates with SciMed in Gainesville.
Go no.
And-
Go Knowles.
I know.
Rosanna's husband, Michael Fleury. Hello, I'm Michael. I'm an associate general counsel at FSU.
There you
Go
go.
Knowles.
I've got to get my husband to sign in. Honey, sign in. Come on. He's in the other room. I know he is. I know.
Come on, Walter. Come on.
Walter, come on, honey. You get a shameless plug for Express Printing. Come on. I think he's in there. I'm not sure. I think he walked outside. I don't know.
Oh,
He's
I see
making
another
lasagna or
something.
something. I don't know.
I see
He's
another
making-
comment,
It's your
and it's my
sister.
sister. It's my sister that's up here.
Hi,
I don't- yeah, Suki's here. Tell us what you do, Susanna. Excuse me, she goes by Susanna here on this platform, I see. So tell us what you do, Susanna. Let us know so we can post it and let people know where you are and where you're working. So we've all been locked away for months now. How is everyone coping? We'll start with you, Josie. How have you been coping?
Well, I've spent a lot of great time with my husband. And actually, I have been teleworking a little bit and in the office. So we have a lot of staff that's out teleworking. I am the type of person I like to be around people, which is difficult. One of the most difficult things to do is when I see people in my office as they come in on occasion, is that I see them and the first thing I want to do is hug them and say, hey, how are you? And it's sort of, or I walk around the office building. Well, you can't really do that. So just getting used to, I think sometimes the quietness and getting used to the technology that's around, and missing, obviously seeing family members and spending more time with them and making sure they're okay. But it's something that you have to do. It's a new way of getting to sort of understand what you have to do to make your office work and to spend time with your family. And you really think back and you see these people who have had this horrible disease, and some have recovered and some have not. And knock on wood, as we do, we've been very lucky here in our family. So I get up every morning saying I'm very blessed that I do what I do every day because I love what I do. And I get to, think about other people that are not in positions that I am in and that can give back. And so I just get up every morning and say, if I'm either in the office or I'm in front of the computer and getting used to the technology, which I will say is a challenge, since I'm a little older than most of you on the call, but it's just, I'm blessed to be here, blessed to be healthy. I'm blessed to be able to be here with all of you all. And the first thing I ask everyone when I get on the phone is, how are you? Are you well? And how is your family? And then after a couple of minutes, we'll get into what's going on business-wise. But most importantly, are they healthy? Are they safe? And how is their family and, their surrounding friends? Because, that's what makes our world go round. It's the group of people that we have and that sense of community that we have. And we should never lose it. Specifically in light of the pandemic and specifically in light of all the other things that are going on, just, health and family are most important at this time.
I agree. I'm, as an extrovert, I've been, this has
Yes.
been very hard for me.
Very hard. Yes,
So
Ro.
hence you've seen, you're like, she is all over the internet with live shows. And I'm like, I have to connect or I'm going to lose my mind. So I'm very fortunate to be home with my family, but I need to also connect with the outside world. So it's been a little bit of a struggle for me, I'll openly admit, but hopefully we're getting through it. And I hope we don't have too much longer to be cooped up. I don't know, but
No.
hopefully not.
Well, I tell you what, wearing masks, just traveling and everywhere we went, it was required to wear masks. And you take for granted the ability to walk down the street and just breathe some cool air. And just because everywhere you go, you have to make sure you have your mask on and you're doing everything. So it changes your whole concept of what it's like to sit and feel the sun hit your face and feel the breeze. It's a totally different feeling, but you got to be safe.
Well, I know, Nathan, you wanted to ask people about their travel plans for the summer that didn't happen. I know we had talked about that.
We mentioned something about travel as just ideas that you may have for afterwards, but just on the same topic of the quarantine kind of issues, I had one. It's kind of personal. I'm looking around the screen here, and everybody looks like they're put together pretty well. How are you managing the quarantine hair situation? Because it's been 4 months since I've had a haircut. And while I'm able to manage the front situation, I've got some serious ducktail happening in the back here. So y'all are doing something right.
I will tell
That's
you.
funny.
I will be the first one to readily admit that in those first few weeks, I live alone and I'm a bit of an introvert until I feel comfortable around people, and then you can't shut me up. So, I was going a little stir crazy those first couple of weeks, and I'll readily admit that I got bored one day and went over to Publix and decided I would dye my hair red, just, to see what it would look like, because we were not yet Zoom conferencing depots or hearings. It was literally like those first weeks in March where you were doing nothing but sitting on your sofa doing work, so no one was going to see me. I was like, why the hell not? It actually looked all right, but then I got bored and buzzed it off. Yeah, the salons and things here in Fort Lauderdale have opened in the last couple of weeks. So I actually just got a cut 2 days ago. So
okay.
yeah, but it does. I mean, it changed. We take so much for granted.
Right.
We really do. And like, a couple of weeks in, your hair's out of control because mine grows fast. I mean, yeah, in 2 or 3 weeks, I got squirrels moving in if I don't rein this thing in. So I know I can. I was wondering, Nathan, what things are like where you are with respect to the pandemic and how people are living from day to day.
Yeah, things came here later than elsewhere, but our numbers are higher than I think anybody would like to see. I'm sure that's true for everyone, but my particular town in San Miguel has a pretty large expat and a very large tourist population. That's what it runs on, basically. And then the surrounding areas is agriculture. So our town, knowing that it's a lot of older people here, people who would be in sort of the more dangerous demographics, our local government has been very, very proactive on this, more so than they have at the federal level. But we are just starting to reopen things. So like you were saying, the salons and some things are reopening. However, one of the things that they've done here that I think is interesting, and I don't know if they're doing this in the States or not, is before you can reopen, whether it's a salon or a restaurant or whatever, you have to get a health certificate. You have to show the municipality what you're doing to maintain health for people, how you're limiting your numbers and things like that. So you get a little certificate, you can put that out there, and then people know, hey, they've got some actual measures in place. And I said, the government here is pretty quick to follow up on things. Like they will go back around and see what people are doing. And hotels that opened up early, they've shut them back down. They hear about stuff, and they're taking it very seriously here. So we've been very lucky, I think, to be here for that very reason.
Sure.
Well, it looks like we have another comment from my sister. She's a project manager at Balfour Beatty out of Jacksonville. So hello, Susanna. But she's here watching us today and joining us as well and supporting us. So thank you for that. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, quarantine. And has there been a moment where you've actually appreciated it? Or have you had a moment like that? Although I will put up this one comment, just shave your head works for me. My bald husband.
Look, Michael has owned that look for years, and none of us could even come close to competing because he's got it perfect.
Has there been a moment where you've actually appreciated this?
I'll say, I'm kind of built for this. Like this doesn't really bother me. We do have some outside space in our house, so you can get out. You can move around. Thankfully, we're here long enough to sort of know the neighborhoods and where you can go where there's not going to be tons of people, so you can walk about and things like that. But honestly, it's interesting that Steve is here with his new gym. Like I have completely changed my level of fitness during this whole pandemic. I've been working out every day. I have time for it. I can focus on it. And I use this little 7 app on my phone. It's like a 7-minute thing, and you can do 1 or 2 of those. And it was funny, just before the real lockdown thing started, we went to a little weekly sale that they have at the library in town, and I bought a couple of DVDs like yoga, and one was this Qigong thing I'd never heard of before. It's kind of yoga, kind of Tai Chi, something, and I'm so into that. I do that every single day. It's kind of weird, but it's a very slow, gentle practice. And my gosh, it gives your joints and things, like, I just feel fantastic. So having the time to be able to do that has really been a plus.
So I can't say that there's been a moment where I felt like this was great. But I think I've been thinking about putting together sort of like a top 10 list of things that are positive about COVID, just so I can be Pollyanna about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And I will say for me, you know, I have gone back to cooking at home more.
Yes.
You know, one, because, you know, we're all, you know, a little bit scared in the beginning about going to restaurants and things like that. But, you know, one of the things that I realized when I was working at the office is that I get so in the zone there. And then, you know, 6 or 7 o'clock would roll around and I couldn't stop working because I got to finish that email, finish that draft. And then I go home and by the time I get home, it's 7:30. I'm tired. And so we're ordering, you know, Bite Squad, whatever it might be. But here, since I've been working at home, you know, with COVID, every once in a while when my laptop looks like it's running out of battery, it's sort of the sign to me that, okay, I got to put it away for maybe 20 minutes and it's giving me the break I need. So now I'm making dinner for everybody and I don't feel like I'm eating trash anymore. You know, I feel like I'm eating good food. So it's much better, I think, for my diet and exercising a little bit more because now I'm walking the dog. Before then, nobody in the house walked the dog. I'd come home and be like, who's walked the dog? No one. But I love this dog. He's like the best thing in the world. So now I get to walk the dog every day. So those are the 2 things on my top 10 list of things that might be positive about COVID-19.
All right. I'd say for those who, I can't compare to the traffic in Lauderdale, but if you're going to the office in Tallahassee, now in Tallahassee, it's like there's no one on the road. It's sort of like you get up, you drive in, it's easy, and you're like, what happened? Nobody, because everybody's at home. I thought, wow, I've enjoyed that a little bit. And yes, eating at home, like I say, you get in the groove of being in the office and being there all the time. And where I work, there are not a lot of places that you go and have something to eat. And you get a chance to actually drive home and eat lunch or not meet somebody for lunch because the restaurants were closed. You spend more time and you realize you spend more time eating at your home and eating better food and just different things about it that are positive that, you know, you realize what really matters in life and you understand that, you know, there are other things in life that you can do without. I mean, you can do without certain shopping, you can do without certain things, but you still have to eat. Wine, of course, is a very positive thing during any pandemic.
Yes.
And Prosecco or Bellinis, not of course during the workday. But yes, and getting your haircut. Yeah, I went to Georgia when they opened up, by the way, Stefan.
I love it.
I cheated. I went to see my mother. I went to see my mother and I went on the internet and I said, where can I go? And my mother was, she says, you're going to do that? And I go, yes. And I said, well, it'll go back. Only hair, if not, I'll buy a wig. And she, oh my God. And she came back and she said, they did a pretty good job. And I said, it's only hair. It'll grow back. If not, I'll get a wig.
Right.
There you go. Those are my comments.
Yeah.
I did not do the bus thing. No. I did not do the bus thing. No.
Yeah. No.
I've liked not running around as much.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Steve? I think you were about to say something.
I was going to say I've come to realize the importance of talking to family and friends instead of just texting. And realizing, you know, the importance of seeing faces and hearing voices. You know, we had a couple of weeks ago a family video conference. So there were like 13 or 14 of us from 4 or 5 different states. And so we all got to see, you know, aunts and uncles and cousins. And so we got to all catch up and see one another. And so I think, you know, we're hardwired as a species to crave contact and communication. And one of the struggles with this pandemic has been, don't get too close to people, don't touch people, don't breathe on them, don't this, don't that. So, you know, we've had to find outlets for that sort of communication and that connection so we don't further isolate ourselves. So I think video conferencing and FaceTiming and all of that hopefully has inspired people to stay in real touch with one another instead of thinking that just posting on somebody's wall is staying in touch with people, because it's not.
I
There's
agree.
nothing like seeing faces and hearing voices. There's just not.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hope it's the thing that remains after COVID-19.
Yes.
That people keep
I
it up,
agree.
because I am loving right now doing Zoom meetings with clients, seeing their faces. They love it too. I mean, they don't care that, they're in their pajamas. I'm not in my pajamas. They don't care that they're in, but I think there's something nicer about that exchange when you can see somebody's face and you can smile at each other. And, even with my family. So today is my nephew's birthday. I think he turned 4 today. And so we did Zoom presents and a Zoom cake, and it was great. I was cooking dinner while he was doing it, but it was great.
That's so creative. Well, I'm going to post this one more time. So we have our friend from law school, Tony Conticello. Tony, tell us where you're at and what you do. We know, Marvi and I both know, but if you want to put it, we'll put you up. But we're running out of time here, everyone. And thank you so much for participating in our first networking event, Launchpad. For those of you watching, if there's somebody that you think would be a great featured guest, we'd love to hear it. So please email us and let us know. We're happy to have them join us on the show. And please join us next Thursday night at 8:00 Eastern. We'll be doing the same thing with some new guests that we have. And we'll go ahead and put up everyone's contact information right here before we say good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night and happy 4th of July.
Happy
Happy 4th of July. Thanks so much.
Everybody stay safe. Bye.
Bye.